Hey everybody, it's Peter Sinkevich from I Love Startup. I am back for January 17th, Tuesday, for today's log entry. I'm kind of continuing the process of documenting, sharing, discussing my journey and process through, running and building a brand. ilovestartup.com. Thanks, Gary. uh, so to do that, I'll start with some updates real quick. The Fuck Up Nights team is looking to expand its office where we've been doing a lot of growing. Our growing pains have become such that we're now starting to outgrow the small office we have there. We have no intention to really leave WeWork, so we're looking at other bigger offices in WeWork or other buildings in the WeWork network in New York City, specifically Brooklyn. We love Brooklyn. But checking all that stuff out, so we'll probably have some news for you guys soon. Maybe we'll even do a cool little event slash party thing if we end up going somewhere super cool or something super cool happens. Stay tuned. And then the other piece of news was, recently, as I mentioned, I've started writing on a website called Medium under ilovestartup.com, and we also created an account for Fuck Up Nights NYC, which also has its own publication now. And my first article on Medium was a contribution to that publication about my biggest startup failure. Today's Medium post was not part of the publication; it was just under my own account. And this one's titled "Your Method of Networking is Awkward and Inauthentic," and I really kind of mean that in a lot of ways. But if you're curious and you want to read it, it's like a 6-7 minute read. There's a link down in the description below for you. Check it out. Obviously, I'd love your comments, your shares, whatever, but let me know what you think of it on medium.com. So, those are the quick updates I wanted to give you guys today. And then, in terms of the topic, a lot of people are pretty awestruck, or not. Maybe that's just not the way to say it because I'm not that cocky or pompous, but people are surprised. That's probably the better way to say it, right? So people are surprised when they find out just how many projects I'm juggling and all the different things that I'm working on. And I usually or often am hearing the remarks, how do you do that? Or how do you manage all that? Or do you have a life? Or do you take showers and do you go to bed? Like, do you eat? Like all of, all of those crazy things. And the answer is yeah, I do all those things, but the way I manage a lot of this stuff, I talked about it in an earlier post, was staying high level. And part of staying high level is being able to push your team's tasks and goals forward effectively. And the way that I do that effectively is I've employed a thing called a standing meeting. So if you're familiar with what a standing meeting is, it's pretty simple. A standing meeting is a meeting you have with the team or a portion of your team every single week on the same day at the same time. So there's no extra thought that needs to go into when it's going to happen, figuring that out on a per diem basis. None of that actually needs to take place. Everyone automatically knows every week at a certain time we're having a meeting and we're going to discuss. And so I put together an agenda. I usually post them in the beginning of the week now on Mondays. My standing meetings with my teams are scattered throughout the week. Some happen on Mondays first thing. Some happen Monday night. Some happen Tuesday evening. Some happen Friday. They're all over the place, but the point is that they become predictable, and I can plan around them so I can make the best use of my time and theirs as well. But it also creates a touch point for me between my team and I to discuss happenings, in whatever project they're involved in. And so I use 3 questions to drive everybody in those meetings, right? And those questions also don't change. So this becomes a very predictable thing, right? You create an agenda of all of the stuff you want to go over or address in that new meeting, and then you drive each one of those points with the 3 main questions. And the 3 main questions, and we'll discuss it really quickly, are what did you do last week? What are you planning on doing next week? And then the third is what are your obstacles to accomplishing what you need to do this week? And so what this allows everybody to do is get immediately on page. First question, what did you do last week? So this is really not about, what you wanted to get done per se. It's what did you actually accomplish last week? And so that allows us to scratch off anything on the list of things to do or tasks that have been accomplished. So we remove that out of the agenda. And then what's left is, okay, based on that, what are you going to do this coming week or in the next 7 days? What are you going to do? And so that's where the discussion comes up about, what you're doing, how relevant it is to the team, to the overall mission, etc. And then the third question, which is the most important one, and it's the one that I don't think gets hit on enough, frankly, is what are your obstacles to accomplishing what you want to do in this next 7 days or week? And that gives a couple opportunities, right? So the first opportunity is it automatically puts the person that you're discussing it with on the team in the mindset of problem solving, which is basically all you are as an entrepreneur, right? You're just a problem solver at the end of the day. Not to oversimplify it or to minimize it, but that's your goal, right? Problem solve everything to solution. And so you put them in the mindset of not accomplishing something, but how is it going to be accomplished, which calls into question all of the contributing components, other team members that might need to be involved, other assets or things that need to get created in order to move on to that next step, or what are the roadblocks? Like, what are the potential problems that we foresee as I go down this path to getting that thing done? And it makes that not just a direct conversation between you, the leader, and the person who's accomplishing the work. It makes it an open discussion with the team. And so what that facilitates is an opportunity for members of the team to sit down and listen to that and go, you know what? I know what they're trying to accomplish. I might have something I can contribute to that. Or I know how they can do that better, faster, easier, and I'm going to share that with them. Or, hey, I have a little bit of bandwidth this week. I know you're trying to work on that and you're tight and I'm a little light, so why don't I come over and help you do that? And so it really kind of starts to facilitate this idea of a team, and everyone starts to, hopefully rise to the occasion to help each other accomplish these things. So every week is a win for the team as a whole because now they're working together to accomplish each other's goals. This is not about, taking roles. This is not about taking responsibility and wrangling that from someone else for your own, whatever elevation within the organization. This is more about here's what we're trying to do in, for example, arbitrarily the AV group, the video photography team. And I know you're trying to do all this, but I happen to go to school at NYU and we have access to XYZ equipment, and I know that's what you're looking for. You might need that, and I know you don't have it. So let me see if I can go, sign it out for the day, and I can, join you and help you get the project done in shorter form. And that's how things really kind of take place. And so this has really been the, driver behind most of my performance with my teams and my projects. I set standing meetings with every single project and every single smaller team within the teams, right? Because some of them are so big or sophisticated that I have separate groups within them in order to accomplish specific tasks like audiovisual, marketing, biz development, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this kind of helps me map it all out predictably every week so I know what's coming. And then all the gaps I have, I split between meetings that I need to have with people that are important and phone calls and actual tasks that I need to get done. And in that way, I get to fit it all in the week the way I need to in an efficient manner. And I bounce around between all of these things as needed. And then I'm pushing the ball forward. And I also know at the end of the day or end of the week, I've touched everything at least once. And so if you can imagine this being like, like a juggler, basically, each one of these meetings is like a ball in the air. And the idea is that you want to have all the balls up in the air at once. So once you throw one up, it gives you the time to go throw up a couple more, but then you have to come back to that first one and you got to pop it back up again. And that's kind of what I do on a weekly basis is I just keep popping these things up in the air, pushing the thing forward. And this is that, again, Gary Vaynerchuk thing, one is greater than zero. And so every time I do this, it's a little chip off the block and it's a little bit more than I got done last week towards the ultimate goal. And the team feels like they're being included. It creates this sense of community amongst the team. They're working together and it ends up working out really well and probably more beneficial than any other method I've tried before. So that's kind of the thing I wanted to share and discuss with you today and kind of like put in your lap as a method or a strategy to kind of, trying to accomplish your own things with your own teams. So if you like what I had to say, let me know down below in the comments. If you didn't like what I said, also let me know down by the comments. Thumbs up, thumbs down, all of that good stuff. Please support me, support us and what we're doing. Come back and check this thing out again soon. And thanks very much for watching. Peace, hustle hard. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.